A lot of people want to hear about narcissism and narcissists, and it's because it's the same as looking into, like, it's the only way that we can prove that there are dimensions to to look into with awareness, and how that it can well, it's really hard to explain. I mean, you cannot explain the confusion of the mind without there being narcissists to contend with, because that's what it is. It's the mind. So, um, but I find it, and it is because it's all about lower vibrational frequency. The mind is a living dead place, and um, that's what needs to be looked into. Like, what is it? And that's what needs to be purified. If anything needs to be purified um, about the organism, that's it. You have an ecology that isn't worth anything if it's not coming from the living, right? And so then when you if you try to explain what it is we're dealing with when we are relying on each other and even looking for relationships and stuff like this, it's an ecology that we're drawing off of, that we're trying to, like, pick fruits and eat and see to get what we need. And when if it becomes sour and 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 weirded out, which it has, um, what are we going to do? We can acknowledge that that's happening, but see, what are we going to do? I say, go. There's higher learning tools, and you need to go to awareness and go to meditation. That's what that is. And look into the mind again. Look into it until it disappears. When you do that, see, that's the thing. It's the same as get really close to the narcissist, get really up to them and say, just get really into them. Find out what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and so then, um, really, they'll get very uncomfortable, and they won't like you. They don't like people to get that close to them genuinely, just as, how are you feeling? How are you? Who are you? In the moment, no matter what, like, aside from everything, what's going on with you? Well, there isn't a decompression there. There isn't a relaxed being. There isn't just a being that says, I'm witnessing all this shit happening, and thanks for checking in. No, nope. There is, I just visioned like a monolith, like a, a brick wall or something. But there's many different flavors. You look at it, this is what people are interested in. It's like to look into this, and it's like, to me, it's like, what, that is a living hell. If there is anything that you can define as hell, it's the mind, which we've already identified. That's what the narcissism is looking into the mind of these people that are identifying with memory in such a way, like, it's kind of dressing it, especially uh, if it's if all it is, if it thinks it's a mind. This is so strange, because it's like, it's not that complex. It's just a basic thing going on. That's what Sam Vaknin says. He says, and they don't even know they're doing it. Because if they knew about the mind, if they had one inkling to look into the nature of that puppy, then it would just drop. And that's hard, right? That's hard. That dropping, for some people, I mean, if they're not used to it, like if they don't have a meditation, And they're used to running and running and running and running and running and running. It's like, okay, so when does that stop? You probably be surprised that people don't do it until like, well, let's say 40 seconds before your last breath. Did you catch a whiff beyond your mind, beyond the running, beyond the fear, beyond that fucking cloud? That's why they send the priest there and really forget the idea as to why the hell they're there. It's interesting, because it should be a celebration. Yay! Why is it a celebration? Well, the person was born before they were born after they were born. They had their rebirth away from mind. They began to become aware. And that, you know what that means technically, Dave? All you Christians out there? Means that you're not worried about what's about to happen 40 seconds from now if it's your last breath. You're just not worried about it. You're like, get rid of that fucking um, limitation, which is the body. And it's like, stay aware. If you have to, imagine that you're breathing. Imagine the things that you love to do. You better be pure in that, and find out what you want. That's what now is asking you as far as now is concerned. And that's one of the ways you become reborn is like, wait a minute, all I have is now, and it's just a decision I'm making. I am free to decide mind or what? Did I talk about spirit? Well, if I didn't, here is a video talking about that.